Well, hello, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you may be. Welcome. My name is Rukari Austin.
And I'm Sam, and we're so excited to be here in Full Sail University's incredible Orlando Health Fortress to welcome you to Gaming Community Expo 2021.
Now, we have a full week of quality entertainment, vendors, and art for you, all in the service of the wonderful kids of St. Jude Children's Research Hospital.
But before we get started, let's take a quick look back on some of the incredible memories we've made together to date.
I appreciate you. I love you. Be kind to each other, regardless of what you look like, what you believe in, who you are, who you love, or who you are on the inside. Because in the end, gaming does good.
From the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for being here this year. Thank you so much for keeping the focus on St. Jude and being part of all of this and being such an incredible community.
That money that you raise to run the hospital for that one day, whatever day that is, hypothetically, that might be the day that a breakthrough miracle or a cure is made or a patient's life is saved. And that is so significant and meaningful.
You are breathtaking.
And we're back. We're sitting here at the Full Sail University Orlando Health Fortress with Kevin Murray, Ben Bowman, Tim Havelock from Rare Drop to talk about the past, present, and future of the event. Rare Drop are the producers and the owners of GCX. So how are we doing today, fellas?
Good.
Doing real good.
Very good.
It's got to be an exciting time, right? We actually get to do this and make it happen, so I figure we're going to be amped,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's finally happening again.
It's happening. It's happening.
again.
All right. Well, we've got a few questions for you, and we'll start with an easy one that's actually not even a question. I want to know about, it all started in a bar.
Yes.
So who can fill me in on what that means?
So in the ancient times, and long ago,
Before the dark times.
before we were all inside, it all started in a bar is where GCX started. So back in 2014, 15, myself and Corey Michael decided to have a meetup for the Destiny community in a bar, like random place in like mid-suburban Tampa, right? Like just a nice little place. And we got really excited because we're like, oh, maybe like 200 people will show up. Like, that'll be crazy. We'll rent out half the place. And then 1,000 people showed up because it just seemed like all these creators that were coming through Tampa at that time. And so we had a couple of international people who were there. And then everyone else was like, well, if so-and-so's there from the UK, I might as well make the trip. So we ended up with 42 content creators showing up, about 1,000 people, like waiting outside a bar in the rain in Florida to hang out. And it made us realize that online communities are incredible. It's why we're all together. It's how most of us met.
Yeah.
But we still have this innate human desire to connect with people in real life. And so it all started in a bar, to me, is like a reminder that while we might connect online, we still have this need for this human connection to actually like look into each other's eyes and talk and hear each other's voice and like not speakers through a microphone, because that's what really builds community, is that physical presence allows you to have a moment every year where you and everyone you might game with really can build like actual memories, right? Like the good times back when you were kids. Only now you're on vacation as an adult and you have your kids, but it doesn't matter because we take care of everything for you. So like that's what we've ended up there because that's where we started.
Yeah.
And I'm really proud it all started in a bar. Humble beginnings.
So what prompted the evolution then from Guardian Con to GCX?
We at some point needed to broaden our horizons and look beyond Destiny. Destiny will always be a core component of GCX.
Yeah.
Bungie has always been good to us. We love working with them. But there's so many other games and so many other things that people enjoy that we would sit every year since I think 2017 and say to ourselves, how can we make this bigger? How can we make this better? How can we make this more inclusive?
Yeah.
So we started inviting other communities, Division, Warframe, Borderlands over the years. And at some point we realized that the name was almost limiting our capacity to work with other companies. So we decided, let's make it more of a broad stroke, and we came up with Gaming Community Expo.
Smart.
So in that same vein, and you kind of allude to it, how do you, scalability, right?
Yeah.
I've thrown a party at a gaming event and been shocked at 50 people. Then you watch it the next year and it grows and it quadruples in size. Like how do you work with that scalability? How do you do bigger and better things with GCX, and how difficult is it to head up that task?
I don't think it'd be possible if it wasn't for Rosen.
Yeah.
Like,
Rosen came through in the clutch.
Yeah, they came in at the perfect time when we needed a home.
Yeah.
We needed a home, and like we were very quiet about that. Like I feel like the big shift from Tampa to Orlando was a big deal for us, and I don't think we'd be able to scale to what we have now. Like being able to offer a vacation and a convention center at the same time. Like that's really unheard of. And so if it wasn't for Rosen, I don't think we'd be able to do it.
Yeah, I mean, every year we plan for more. Like, what can we do to make this bigger and better? Attendance goes up every single year. So there's no reason for us not to plan for this thing to be bigger. So for 2022, we look at it and say, okay, we did this in 2019. We did this in the virtual event in 2021. What do we expect? And every single year, our expectations are met and exceeded. So it's the community that comes out and shows up. And, our event is very different because of the charitable component. And I think that changes the mood at the event. And then the mood at the event turns into this thing that you want to experience every year, like Ben said.
Dang. Well, speaking of community or things that are different, last year, the community wasn't able to come together.
Yes.
So this year, we're going on a freaking space station.
Yeah, I got bored.
Please elaborate on that.
Last August, we sat down and said, we need to plan 2 events.
Yeah.
We need to plan to be in person. We need to plan to not be in person. So I went out with our staff and sourced how do we do a digital event that isn't a Zoom call. And this was before everyone was kind of sick of Zoom calls. By December, I was like, oh, we made the right move.
Yes. Yeah.
Because everyone is sick of Zoom conferences at this point. So how do we innovate? How do we change the game? And we met with this vendor, and it was an entirely gamified experience. And that's what really spoke to us and why we wanted to do it. So I think we decided in December that we were going to move forward with this. January, we decided, a lot of people come to us and say, like, why don't you just have the physical event anyway? Well, no vendor was willing to commit in January of this year to come out. So we made the executive decision and said, let's just do it. Let's give it a whirl. Let's do something no one else has ever done before. And we worked with a development team to literally build a space station in Unreal Engine 4 that you can take a customizable avatar through, and it's really interactive. That's the cool part for me.
Well, let's expand on that, because you hit the why. We got to why we're doing this, but this has not been done, at least from what I've seen, and I have no idea how it's going to look in practice. So what can we expect? What can fans expect? Attendees? What's it going to be like?
The closest thing I can compare it to is like a GTA-esque experience.
Yeah.
Yeah,
without
very
the
much
murder
so.
and those stealing,
Car crashes.
all that
Oh, no.
stuff. But as far as how you move about, it's that there's no crouching, there's no jumping, there's no flying, because to keep the skybox empty and to limit the way a character moves, they can put more people into the space.
Yeah, it's
So
not
at
a
this
battle
point-
royale at all.
No, not even close. So at this point, we can fit well over, I believe it's 6,000 people at a time, at a single given moment in the space, which is pretty exciting, because every other number we heard from every other vendor we contacted was like, we can do 400, we can do 500. So this vendor was
not
like,
gonna
no,
work.
we can do 6,000. And they have a track record outside of the gaming space for testing this, so we know it works
Right.
too. So that was kind of the no-brainer.
That was
how this would
huge.
feel. Yeah.
Huge for us, the fact that they had experience, right? Because the first thing, you can go through our Twitter feed when we announced this, everyone's like, have you beta tested this? What's the cybersecurity like? Like, what network node socket are you using? And like, we could debate all day whether or not those are, people who really need to know that information. But like, we know that our community is plugged into technology. So we didn't, to Kevin's point, we didn't want to bring a product that only had like 200 to 400 people that could connect at a time. The idea of a convention is that you are there and there's energy because of all the people that are around. And so we wanted to recapture that. We didn't just want to put you on a lonely space station because that's like a horror movie. So we really wanted it to feel alive. So when we found somebody that's like, oh no, yeah, we can do a few thousand people. We could actually do 6,000 or more. We were like, that's it. Because everything else just felt like it wasn't enough.
Yeah.
Right. And we couldn't just put the guests just in any kind of room.
Right.
Like
Yes.
it's the gaming community expo. Like it's a bunch of gamers. Like they already have the bar. We ourselves have set the bar so high.
Yep.
Yes.
Right. And then now we're going to put it in a virtual space. Well, these are people who play video games, high fidelity video games all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So we had to push the limits, and it looks awesome.
Yeah.
It looks awesome.
It looks really cool.
Every iteration of it, I'm more impressed with the previous one. I saw the latest build a few days before we came here, and I was like, this exceeds what I thought it could be.
Yeah.
And they're like, we're not done yet. So
They have light rays coming through windows, like
yeah.
for a convention.
Yeah. I mean,
Like,
they
it's
have-
cool.
Space.
Yeah.
the team has a dedicated lighting guy that just worked on lighting in the space. That's the only thing this guy did for 6 months was do lighting in the space station. So, the testament to their ability to
Yeah.
achieve this is you're going to be pretty impressed when you get in there.
Dang. Organizing an event is already extremely stressful, and there's a lot that goes on behind it. But what are some of the unique challenges that came with a virtual one? I know you touched base a little bit, but is there anything that was like really, wow, we wouldn't ever have to experience this if this was in person?
The most difficult one was planning 2 events for 4 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not knowing what was going to happen because you can't forecast financially.
Right.
You're spending assets and resources to develop 2 events at the same time.
You're also trying to sell 2 events at the same time. to
Right.
people.
I was going to bring up.
We didn't want to, we had folks pre-order at the end of the 2019 event.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to ever lose them and make them feel like we were leaving them in the dust. So, we offered refunds and whatnot, but most people, I would say 99% of the people kept their tickets with us,
Yeah.
which was pretty impressive. And again,
You
speaks
were
to the
prepared for a
community.
doomsday scenario when
Oh my!
everybody.
I was prepared to lose 75% of those tickets and just like figure it out. But 99%, I would say, I could probably count on both hands how many people refunded their tickets.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So, making sure that those folks felt like we
Yes.
gave a damn was my biggest priority. So that's why this year we said, you get access to this no matter what. You don't
Yeah.
have to pay again. You believed in us. You stayed with us. So we followed that. And then, we sent them a little swag bag with a backpack, and we still got emails. Like,
Yeah, still got
oh,
emails.
T-shirt in here. I'm using it.
T-shirt. And we were like,
He had to
it
sneak
would have
that
been
one
too
in.
complicated.
So I didn't want to put figuring out 3,000 people's sizes on our staff because that would
Yeah.
have been fun. But
The-
go ahead, Ben.
Oh, I was going to say the other thing that I think, and Tim touched on this, that was so difficult this year was after we decided to go to a virtual event, we had to sell people on what
Yeah.
that meant.
Yeah.
And it's really hard because you don't really have proof. You
Right.
can only speak like metaphorically or via reference, like GTA, but it's a convention, right? So we really had to learn how to talk about this really difficult to grasp concept. Everyone we talked to in the beginning was like, ooh, this is cool.
Yeah.
But then when it came down to like, okay, well, do you want to be a part of the event? They're like, we need to see a little bit more or know a little bit
Yeah.
more. So we were very much building this whole thing, you know,
Yeah.
and investing all of this time and effort, hoping that folks, once they saw it, they'd say, oh, that's it. Because that's what it was like for us. Kevin had been talking to us for a few weeks. He's like, "You're not gonna believe it. This is great. It's really, really cool." And I was like, "How cool?"
He's like, "There's
could it be?"
rides. You
And
can get
he's
on
like,
rides.
Rides. And he's like, there's all. Sending us screenshots of the event and stuff. And like, I'm still trying to like imagine what it's like. But the first time we saw a video
Yeah.
of somebody dropped in an environment that they made, I was like, this is like anything you want it to be. This is the theme park of your dreams as a kid. Like, it can literally be whatever you want. And that's how we got to the space station idea.
Right.
Was like, oh my God, like we could build a, Adventureland. We could like go to the center of the earth. We could go like to the stars. And then Kevin's joke was like, well, nobody wants to be on this planet anymore. so why don't we build a space station?
Is that really how it came about?
Yeah.
Please tell me that is word
That
for
was
word.
part of
That
it.
is
Yeah.
staying in.
That is the
Yes.
internal joke in our office. Is
No, that's external now.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's out.
everybody knows.
We were all trapped inside, right? And you're
Yeah.
just like, F this planet for a moment. I'd like a brief break. And so, and that really guided our creative process for it. We were like, okay, well, like, what's the most escapist thing that we can do? Where can we put everybody that, puts things in perspective? So, the opportunity to be in a space station and look down and see our little blue marble floating in the sky, like it's very nice. And the way that it's come together with like the docking bays and like loading into a place that feels like your spaceship just landed, it's awesome.
Yeah, but to Rukari's point is that we are innovating in a space that has been so essentially dormant for this long time. Like conventions have stayed the same; they really haven't changed. And now we are setting the bar as to like what does it look like in a post-pandemic world to have a convention.
Yeah,
and so like this is exciting to be for us. I think to be on the forefront of that, of like leading the charge of what a digital convention should look like and how it should behave. To your point, Kevin, it shouldn't look like a Zoom call. It should be this interactive thing that you can like digitally touch and look at.
That was part of the stress. Was I do not want a Zoom call event. I don't want to be that. It's like 6 panels, throw them up there. We did that last year in August, just
to survive.
Yeah, just to survive as an event and make sure that people still knew we existed. But once that was over, I was like, I'm not doing that again. I don't care what happens next year. We will innovate and we will figure out what we're going to do because I'm not doing that like everybody else. I've been on those Zoom call events for a number of things, and I didn't want to do that. So that was also as exciting as it was. That's the stress, and it still is. Like as of this moment, sitting here, no one has been in this space.
Yep.
So to me, internally, it's like I'm freaking out to see what's going to happen when everyone steps into this. And I think Tim's right. It will be industry defining because if more events can bring people together worldwide for people that can't travel and whatnot and do this in an innovative and smart way, you could open up a whole new pipeline to people enjoying an event.
That's so cool.
So it all started in a bar, right? And then there's another tagline that I'm hearing in here of nobody wants to be on this planet. And just for my own personal gain to be able to drop an F-bomb in a question, this planet for a moment. I'm going to hit on that for a moment. What does that mean for 2022? Like, is this a space station thing that's going to continue? Do we get to be back in person? Like, I need to know because I saw in our script 2022, and I said, no way. Are we already doing that? Are we talking about next year?
I have been planning 2022 for 2 months now. We'll be back at Rose and Shingle Creek, June 11th and 12th.
In person.
In person.
In person.
There will be lots of hugs and tears, and tears probably from me because we filmed at Rosen yesterday, all of us, to kind of promote 2022 and begin that. And, I was walking down the hallway and I turned to Max, our videographer, and I was like, I feel alive again. I feel like me.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm back and doing what I'm good at. So we'll be back there. As far as the digital component, we're playing with that.
Yeah.
Like I just said, we want to be as inclusive as possible. And inclusive shouldn't mean you have to buy a plane ticket, a hotel room, and everything. It should mean that you can enjoy the event somehow. We've always made the main stage event free. We've never wanted to charge for a digital ticket. We've thought about incentivizing things with the digital ticket, but at baseline, it should always be free. Everyone should always enjoy the content. So the new, innovative ideas, what do we do next year to continue that innovative thought process, and how do we do that? And we have some ideas, and we've been on some phone calls, and we've done a few things.
But we're just adding to that tool set, which is really cool.
Yep,
that's
that's
a
the
more
fun part.
thing to use.
If we get 50% of what we've been planning for 2022, it will innovate the space, and it will change the game, and it will, keep that bar set where it is, and not just be, a run-of-the-mill gaming convention. It will be something special that you want to come back to every year.
Yeah. I mean, I know y'all are already mentioning 2022, but what about like the next 5 years or 10 years? Like, what are you looking at for
We're not stopping at
this
two.
space? Yeah, what do you think you're doing, too?
We
Get out of here.
never want to leave Rosen. I don't think we've
No.
ever been more comfortable at a venue
It's so nice.
It's a unique space. Like
Yeah.
the ability to get out of your car and walk into a resort, and you've got your room there, you've got the restaurant, you've got the pool, you've got the spa, the gym, like
Golf.
you've got the golf, you've got
Yeah.
all these insane restaurants that are top quality. Like it's your vacation, you know. And then if you want to leave the resort, you've got Disney World and you've got Universal Studios, and you've got all these things you can go and explore. But it really is the one-stop shop for a vacation. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank y'all so much. I mean, this was good. I think that everybody got a lot of good information. I did. I learned a lot, honestly, because I didn't know either. So, but we're really excited for GCX 21 and GCX 22 coming up.
June 11th and 12th.
It's exciting
2022.
it's
Yep.
exciting to say that. It really is.
It is. But as for
It
this
feels
year,
like we can't say it out loud.
I know. I
Finally said
I
we've
honestly
been
thought
not
it was
saying
a
it out
secret.
loud
Read it-
for
read
so
it
long.
out.
I
Say
know,
it
but I
out.
still thought it was
Go
a
ahead.
secret. I was like, we have to hold on to it. Must keep it safe.
No, we
Right.
literally on announced day we said
tell me you're a nerd.
when we announced 21, we said, and 22 will be these days. Again, the reason we did that was because people that bought tickets, they still have their tickets for 2022, and they get to enjoy this year.
Yeah.
Sorry if you didn't do that out there in TV land. You don't get to do it now. Yeah, we wanted to make sure those folks knew, like, you get this and this. Because the most common thing was, hey, I bought a ticket to the event, but this is virtual and it's not what I'm like. Guess what?
Yeah,
You get both.
Yeah.
And everyone goes, oh, okay, I love that. Thank you. So, yeah, June 11th and 12th, Rose and Shingle Creek, Orlando, Florida,
We'll be there.
2022.
Yeah.
Meet
Write it
Tim
in your
in the gym.
calendars.
Yeah, you
Tim in the gym.
I can tell you right now, he's already doing his sets. And his reps.
His meet and greets are only at the gym,
Only at
actually.
the gym. You have to bring a
Going
dumbbell.
sweaty. Well, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate this. And I know I'm really excited to get aboard a space station. So, yeah, GCX 21.
See you Starside.
See you Starside.
Yeah, is that our cutout? See you, Stars.
No,
It
your
is
cutout
now.
should have definitely been. Nobody wants to be on this planet anymore.
Yeah, that should have been it.
Punch it, Kevin.
Do it.
May the force be with you.
That one's taken.
Don't tell Disney.
I can't wait to get on the GCX space station. It sounds incredible.
Right? Big same, big same. And if you're out there feeling the same way, don't worry. I mean, there's still time to get access to the virtual event and join us and thousands of others in space.
That's right. You can go to gcxevent.com/tickets to pick up your ticket for the GCX 2021 virtual event just in time for liftoff.
And while you're there, don't forget to order your tickets for GCX 2022. We're talking next year as well. We can't wait to see everyone face to face in Orlando, Florida. Once again, that's gcxevent.com/tickets.
Remember, your ticket purchases help us organize these events to create priceless memories and to raise money for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We couldn't do it without you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Ben Bowman. I'm the charity director for GCX. I'd like to take a moment to recognize why we're all here. Of course, we're here to celebrate our shared love of games, film, television, and each other, but more importantly, all of our work on GCX and all of your generous donations are to benefit the patients and families at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. And because of your incredibly generous donations, there is not a single patient or family that will ever receive a bill from St. Jude. But what's even more incredible is that this is not a new development. This is something that's been part of St. Jude's DNA since its inception, and I'd like to let you know a little bit more about it.
It's a glittering premiere at the Chicago Theater for Warner Brothers' I'll See You in My Dreams. A real dream has come true, for this benefit premiere launches a drive for a new hospital sponsored by the film star Danny Thomas, here arriving with his family. Years ago, Danny vowed he'd build a hospital if he ever became famous. $32,000 are subscribed, the first of $1 million Danny Thomas tells friends he'll raise for the St. Jude's Hospital of his dreams.
They said it couldn't be done. They said that it was a task which would break my heart. They said it was impossible. At this very moment, as I speak to you, in the city of Memphis, Tennessee, there is being constructed a hospital in the form of a star. There it is, in concrete, glass, and steel. to offer help to all the children of the world, regardless of race, creed, or economic status. You and I have vowed that we will do everything in our power, spiritually, physically, mentally, and financially, to bring about the defeat of these catastrophic diseases. We're going to begin with leukemia, and by God's grace, after defeating it, go on to other diseases. That little tiny building has led the world in advancements in pediatric science and clinical care, and now it's going to rise up. You will bring it to the fore through an organization called ALSAC. If I were to die tomorrow, I now know why I was born.
While we're sitting here making this video, there's a family that's walking through the front doors on a Friday afternoon, and they're at St. Jude. When we came to St. Jude, I asked the doctor, "Can you treat my child?" And he said, "No. We're going to cure him."
In the medicine room, I receive IV chemo, shots if I need them. I receive IV fluids or platelets or blood transfusions. Hi, I'm Myra. I'm a patient of St. Jude. Welcome to the medicine room. When I walked into the medicine room my very first time, it was a little scary just because there are rooms everywhere and people going places and it's very busy. But now when I walk in there, I'm always smiling and laughing and joking around with some of the nurses that I've come to know. Even when I'm not here getting medicine, there's always a lot going on in the medicine room. Just ask the people who work here.
The medicine room at St. Jude is open 365 days a year, 24 hours a day. And we get to see everybody. And that's the thing that I really love about working in this unit. My name is Patricia Cathy. I've been at St. Jude 24 and a half years. I'm the nurse manager of the medicine room. It is a 28-area treatment room, which includes 25 private rooms, 3 negative pressure isolation rooms, and 3 chairs. I have about 40 nurses that work on this unit. They love the patients. Everybody knows what their mission is on this unit. It's hustle and bustle in here. My nurses in here, we take care of the leukemia patients, the solid tumor patients, the hematology patients, the brain tumor patients. We administer a lot of chemotherapy. We do an abundance of blood products, red blood cells, platelets.
I visit the medicine room maybe once a week. Treatment is not the same for every patient. There are some treatment plans that are 2 years or more. My treatment plan was 9 to 12 months.
Once the medication comes from pharmacy, we have a room that we call the counter room. And it's a room where the pharmacist brings all the medication out. There's one RN in that room. That RN is responsible for checking the protocol, making sure that the patient is on the right protocol, the right week, and it's the right dose. The assigned RN that's going to be administering medication, she comes in, picks that medication up, she does that entire check again. After she does that check, she takes it to the patient's bedside. Another RN comes in and she does a check, what we call the positive patient identification check. We're here because we choose to be here. That's not the family's journey. They're here trying to fight to save their children's life, and we're become a small part of their journey.
When I'm finished with treatment, we go into clinic and I get what it's called a no more chemo party.
Our patients have the cutest SMILE.
And all the nurses and your doctor come in with handfuls of confetti and they sing you a song and then they just throw it all at you.
Now's the time we get to say,
pack up your bag, get out the door, you don't get chemo anymore.
I'm glad I got to share the medicine room with you. Thanks for stopping by. Bye.
Thank you all for joining us as we think about GCX and what it means to each and every one of us.
We are so fortunate to do what we do, and we are incredibly grateful for every donation to help us benefit the life-saving work at St. Jude.
We'd also like to thank Full Sail University for hosting us today in their state-of-the-art Orlando Health Fortress.
From everyone at Rare Drop, we thank you for your support. But without further ado, BigCheeseKIT, take it away.
Hello, my name is BigCheeseKIT, and I want to talk to you about the GCX Charity Marathon. Every year, a group of streamers, content creators, and all-around entertainers come together to raise money for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. St. Jude does incredibly important work to help children and their families navigate their most challenging battles. Families like this one.
Life in Jamaica, it's a laid-back type of thing. It's always sunny, and so is Azalea. Azalea is my heart.
Azalea is such a happy child. Nothing keeps her down, ever, and she absolutely loves the beach. Azalea is a social butterfly, and Azalea has changed my entire perspective on life. Azalea, at 2 years old, she was diagnosed with cancer, and everything just changed just like that. Her oncologist sent in a referral. We packed her bags and we moved to another country. And the best thing to ever happen was coming to St. Jude.
In Jamaica, our resources are a little different, so when I heard the news that she had a tumor, all I was seeing was darkness, and St. Jude kind of brought me back to life. As a father, the simple stuff that we take for granted, St. Jude gave me back all of that.
Why are you writing in circles?
She calls St. Jude her home now.
That's so funny.
It made us feel like
I'm gonna get you back.
we had no worries at all.
Azalea has made me so strong because she's so strong. She is never sad and she is never down, and I'm just so grateful to her for it. And here we are today. She's happy, she's healthy, she sees St. Jude as her next home, and it makes my heart smile.
Your donations during the marathon go directly to helping children like Azalea. Come join me right now at twitch.tv/GCX event as we kick things off with the best above below average streamer, me.